Hello, this is Victor from Black Pisces Production, and you're watching the How to Mix Power Metal video series. In the previous part of this video series, we talked about the cymbals and the overheads. Today, we are going to take a look at the kick drum. But before we get started, here is a little reminder of how the drum sounded before mixing and how the drums sound after mixing. I use separate channels for every kick drum and for every microphone. I named these channels Kick 1 in, Kick 1 out, and Kick 2. These channels were processed separately and then sent into a group track called Kick Group. I use this group channel to process the sound signal even more and to have just one slider to control the kick drum's overall level. Here is a before and after comparison. On the Kick 1 in channel, we can hear kick drum samples captured with the microphone placed inside the drum. I use this channel to outline the main sound of the kick drum. The only plugin I used on this track is the virtual mix rack. I use the VCC channel, FGA and FG401 modules. The VCC channel is set to group 8. That means that we use the same settings as in the previous video. The settings are the following: Britain mode, drive at 9 dBs, and input at -6.3 dBs. After the VCC channel, I use the FGA equalizer to shape the sound of the kick drum. I boosted 9 dBs at 12.5 kHz and 4 dBs at 5 kHz to get more click from the kick drum, cut out some boxy mids by 12 dBs at 400 Hz, and boosted the low end by 4 dBs at 50 Hz. After the equalizer, I use the FG401 compressor with the slowest attack time, fastest release time, and 2:1 ratio to give more attack to the kick. On the Kick 1 out channel, we can hear kick drum samples captured with a microphone that was placed outside the drum. This channel is used to give the kick drum low-end punch. I use the virtual mix rack plugin with the VCC channel, FGA, and the FG Bomber modules. The VCC channel is set to group 8. The FGA equalizer is used to cut out some highs and mids and to emphasize the low frequencies. I cut 12 dBs at 12.5 kHz, cut 9 dBs at 1500 Hz, cut 4 dBs at 200 Hz, and boosted 6 dBs at 50 Hz. After the equalizer, I used the FG Bomber with the needle moving around 0 and with the intensity value set to 100. This gave the kick drum massive low-end energy and punch. The Kick 2 track is used to add more click to the kick drum. I use the virtual mix rack to process this channel too. The modules are the following: VCC channel, FGS equalizer, and FG401 compressor. The VCC channel is set to group 8 again. The FGS equalizer shapes the sound of the kick drastically. I cut the high mids and the highs by 3 dBs at 3.6 kHz and 9.5 dBs at 5.7 kHz, boosted the mids by 6.3 dBs at 1500 Hz, cut the lows by 9.5 dBs at 186 Hz, and besides that I used the high-pass filter to cut out the low frequencies below 340 Hz. The FG401 compressor's ratio is set to 2:1. The attack value is at 5 and the release is set to 1. The makeup gain is turned up by 3 dBs. The purpose of this compressor is to soften the attack of this kick sample. As I already mentioned, I send all of my kick drum tracks to a group track that is called Kick Group. The first insert on this channel is the Virtual Mix Rack plugin with the VCC Mix Bus, FGA and FG401 modules. The VCC Mix Bus is set to Group 8, just like the VCC channel modules. The FGA EQ is used to add some top end and some low end and to carve out some unwanted frequencies. I boosted 6 dBs at 12.5 kHz, 2 dBs at 1500 Hz, cut 4 dBs at 200 Hz, and boosted 6 dBs at 40 Hz. The FG401 compressor is used to glue all the kick drum tracks together with 2:1 ratio, slowest attack and fastest release time. The second insert on this group channel is my Aggressor plugin. I use this plugin to clip the signal a little bit. You can try to use any kind of clipper, distortion or saturation to achieve this kind of effect. Now I am going to show you a before and after comparison of these two plugins. Sometimes I send this kick group track to my room FX track to add just a little depth to it. I advise you doing this really sparingly because too much reverb on the kick drum can wash out the low frequencies and the attack of the kick. In this mix we want the kick to be punchy and relatively short. In some genres you can use long reverb as an effect on your kick drum to give it length. It is a cool effect, but in metal we usually don't want that. In this video, I showed you the processing on my kick drum channels. I hope you learned something new and I hope you will be able to use some of my tips in your next mix. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel because in the next video, we are going to talk about the snare drum. Thanks for being here. See you next time.